12th of July. It's Monday, and we are heading to Buford, Georgia to pick up some, I think it's steel dies is what I was told. I'm not for sure. It's for a customer or a broker that I've done a lot of work with in the past. Most of the time when I do stuff with him, it's steel coils, smaller steel coils. But he says this one's a steel die. So I think I know what they're talking about. At the same time, I'm not sure. But that's picking up at Buford, Georgia. So I was actually at home, and so I'm heading down here to pick that up, and it's coming right back up to Lenoir City, Tennessee, which isn't all that far away from the house. So it's a really good rate. That's why I'm doing it. He called me. He actually woke me up when I was in bed. So Garrett, if you're seeing this, thanks for waking me up. But it's okay, I had to get up. But yeah, we are about an hour away. We're coming up to Ball Ground, Georgia. Anytime I come out this way, I usually come through this little town. It's a nice drive, very quiet, very peaceful, not a lot of traffic. It's just running the back roads all the way. Ooh, we got some deer up here. That's right, get yourself back into the woods. But anyways, yeah, we're about an hour away. We gotta be there at 8, showing that we're gonna get there at about 7:50, which is good. It's a heavy load. It's 22,300 pounds is what it's quoted at. It does need to be tarped, so we'll do all that, take it out to Lenoir, and go back to the house. I got a little vacation type thing planned. I got a friend coming down from West Virginia. We're gonna hang out in Pigeon Forge for a while. Find my gear. Hang out in Pigeon Forge for the weekend, and then after that, probably around Tuesday, head back out for a good decent while. So like I said, right now we're just gonna stay local, try to do as much local work as I can. The toolboxes that I've always been talking about to put in the very back of the truck, those are here. I actually got those in. They came in about 2 weeks ago as of this point, and I wanted to get them installed at around the 4th of July, and I brought the truck over to the welder. Let's see, I think it was like July 5th or something like that, 6th. And we had already established that we'll take care of it then. Wouldn't take long. And long story short, that entire week, I guess, went to hell for that guy. So it never got done. Kind of sucks because I was looking forward to doing that, and that did kind of take an entire week out of me. I was hoping to go out for about the week and a half before the little vacation, before coming back home, but obviously that didn't work out. But it's okay, no hard feelings. We'll get that done. I'll take the truck back over there to have that done while I'm on my little break, and I'll be really happy because I got some extra straps I'm going to use, as well as maybe a few other things, and I'm glad to have the storage space. So yeah, looking forward to that. But anyways, we're going to continue on, go get our piece of steel of some sort, and get it back towards home. So I'll talk to you guys later. So we are almost to our drop-off for today. Currently just outside of Lenore City. Well, actually we're in Lenore City. Yeah, there's a sign right there, off on the right, Lenore City. We came up the back roads, obviously, and actually the GPS wanted us to get onto the interstate earlier than where we are now. But there was a big accident out there, I guess, because there was something like a 30 or 40 minute delay. So this was the quicker way. Honestly, I was probably going to go this way to begin with, but it's a nicer route. I got to deal with some traffic coming through here, but that's no big deal. A little bit of a hill climb. But we are 18 minutes away. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm actually just curious how much this thing weighs. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to overweight on the front end. The air gauges, I don't know if they need recalibrated. That's another reason why I'm going to go get a scale ticket. Is when we first set the thing onto the truck and I checked the air gauges, it was showing that I was at 20,000 pounds on the drive axle. So I decided to move the thing, the die-cast machine, up about probably not even a foot, to try to move some of that weight up front, because they told me it was 23,500. And so I wanted to move it up front just to give a little bit of leeway on the rear end and on the front end. And when we did that, we set it down. I think I moved maybe 2,000 pounds up towards the front. Everything seemed cool. Well, once I went to go pull the truck out of the garage there, and I started airing everything back up, I noticed that I was only weighing about 15 to 16,000 on the rear end and 10,000 on the drop axle. And I was a little concerned because that's pretty heavy for the front end. And if I have my lift axle up and I can't turn my wheel from a dead stop, like the power steering isn't strong enough to do it, that's kind of how I know it was doing that. Obviously with the drop axle down, it can turn just fine, but she's heavy. I think right now I got everything sort of sorted out, and we're looking at, sitting right here, we're looking at just shy of 18,000 on the drive axle and right at 10,000 on the lift axle. But like I said, I'm gonna run over to scale and get a scale ticket just to see if I need to recalibrate those and see what we're actually at. But that scale is not even 5 minutes away from where we're delivering, so ain't no rush there. I got plenty of time. It's showing that I'm gonna be there at 1:12. I told them I'd be there between 1 and 1:30. That'll put me getting there at about 1:30, but I'm not too worried. I got till 5, so it works out. But yeah, I'm gonna fight my way through this traffic. We'll get a scale ticket, and then I'll pick you guys back up right there to show you what it was. And alright, so real quick, I figured I'd show you how I do scales. I split weigh my axles, so meaning I get a separate weight for my drop axle and drive axle, and as well as the steer axle. So basically, to show you what I do, you can sort of see up on the bridge up here, you got 3 main sections. The first section's obviously your steer axle. The second section is supposed to be for your drives, and the third section in back is for your trailers. What I do is I split the drive axle, or I put the drop axle in the drive axle slot, and then put the drive axle in the trailer spot, assuming that the bridge is correct. Just like that. I'm gonna show you real quick. So this is what I mean about the 2 separate sections. That's my steer axle. put the drop axle on its own bridge, drive axle on its own bridge. That way I could get separate weights for each axle. Since I don't run a regular tandem at 34,000 pounds, I can't just put both groups on the same bridge, because then it adds the two numbers together. And obviously I'm allowed different weights for each axle. So that's why I do it that way. But let's go over here and park. Put you back up here so you can see what's going on. Never block the scale, don't be that guy. Yeah, it only takes a few minutes to run in and get this ticket, but just don't be that guy. Real quick, if you want to see what it looks like when the lift axle comes up and the drop axle goes down, or when all the airbags drain, let's say it that way. So I have to do that anytime I park and shut off the truck, because it's just going to raise up automatically. If I don't do that, I'll overload the drive axle airbags. So, alright, be right back. Alright, so we got our scale ticket. And we actually weren't as bad as I thought we were, as far as weight up front. Excuse me, I'm making a mess. Trying to figure out exactly what we weigh, or exactly how much that thing was. Let's see. So to give you an idea, this is my empty weight. I'm hoping you can see that. So 9,860 on the front axle, and then 8,980 on the rear axle. That's full of fuel and any other supplies that I have. So puts the gross weight at 18,840. So now you know how much my truck weighs. This one here we just got is 41,120 pounds. And our front axle is 13,500 pounds, and our drive axle is actually 10,740. So technically we're over on the drive axle, or let me slow down. The drive axle, which is the lift axle, is 10,740, which we're technically over. It's only a 10,000 pound lift axle. So I'm guessing that weight gauge is off a little bit. And then the drive axle is 16,880. So give you a look right there. So that's how I do split weigh with that. And now what I'll do, just real quick, do that. Start putting, okay, so here, I'll show you this. I'm running out of storage. So to refill my airbags and whatnot, I do a certain way. First, I fill the drive axle so that I can monitor that. Because it takes longer to fill up, I usually do that first. And then once it gets around to where the weight it should be, I'll drop the lift axle. And so actually, one thing that I've always noticed is when you have the lift axle up and you go to put it down for the first time, it does go heavy. And this is where I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'm not quite, don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, it gets really weird and really difficult to adjust, because the knob to adjust the pressure is in the bunk underneath the bed. Federal regulation requires that it needs to be outside of the vehicle or out of the driver's reach. That way you're not adjusting it coming up to a weigh station. But it's back there, and to turn the knob, it's not like you can't just turn it a little bit and that instantly raises the pressure. You kind of have to do a real big turn to get a big burst of air into it, and then kind of turn it backwards and bleed it out. And I don't know if that's why when you first put the lift axle down, it'll read heavy. So usually what I do when it does that is I just quick flip it to purge some of it out. But the problem is now, because it's like that, I can't adjust the weight. And normally the way to adjust it would be turning these screws here. So I'm gonna have to leave it as is right now. And I think when I was pulled in here, that was right at the 10 mark, so we may be running 700 pounds heavy on that gauge, but that's for another day. But anyways, real quick, let's figure out how heavy that thing was. So if we go 41,120 minus 18,840, 22,280 pounds. And they told me it was 22,500 pounds, so it's pretty much right. So we're good. And yeah, we're legal on the front axle even at 13.5. We're good for 16. Well, actually, we're good for about 15.8, I think it is. But yeah, that's that. Anyways, I'm gonna clean up this mess here, and we're gonna get going again. We're only a few minutes away from the delivery. It's just right down the way. We're sitting at the Loves off of I-40 and 321, just outside of Knoxville and Lenore City. And my delivery's just on the other side of the freeway. Freeway's over that way. So I'm gonna go do that. This camera's about to run out of space. So, all right, talk.